friends. I'm Karen, and this is the Family Food for Moms podcast. We're talking about inspiration for family cooking and dining. Last time we talked about a meal planning method that our family's been using, which is based on who's cooking that night and what dishes they know how to cook. That would be our older children and what they enjoy cooking. And then we'll plan together based on that. Today I want to talk about a meal planning method based on themes, where you set a theme for each evening, each day of the week, and then you do your planning based on that. For example, French or Greek, or a baked potato bar, or a takeout evening. So you can vary this as much as you like. You can make it a country theme, which is lots of fun, especially the ones that you enjoy. If you enjoy Italian food, Chinese food, you can do a soup night where you look up your favorite, either old or new soup recipes. You can do a frozen food night where you either get food from your freezer that you've cooked previously, or you use a frozen meal online service and choose something frozen for that particular night. It's good to mix nights where you have to do quite a bit of cooking with ones where you just heat up a frozen meal. And even the cooking ones have some that are intense cooking that you do just before the meal, but not too often. And then have some where you can cook throughout the day without it taking too much time, using your crock pot or your instant pot, so that by the time dinner comes around, most of the food is ready and you just need to briefly heat it. You could do a pasta night, different kinds of pasta. You can do spaghetti or tagliatelle or penne, or even ravioli. Some grocery stores have great ravioli. Then you could do a baked potato bar where you choose different meats or different sauces. For the pasta night, again, you would choose different sauces. Perhaps this time you'd do ham and cheese sauce, or a bolognese sauce, or a tomato and vegetable sauce. So then each week your decision making is cut down because you already know it's going to be a pasta and it's going to be one of these. So what's very helpful when planning like this is to have a master list. So the first thing you need to do, and I'll have a printable for you for this, the first thing you need to do is to plan your themes. You can always change them, but start off with 7 themes. As I said, choose some that are high intensity, some that are low intensity and easy, and even some that are takeout or a frozen food. So spread your themes over the days of the week based on how busy you are on particular evenings. When you have events or sports or whatever that you need to go out for, then that obviously affects that evening. So choose the slowest evenings for the most perhaps intricate cooking or the most interesting meals where you can slow down as a family and enjoy the meal together. So choose themes for your evening. So, for example, Monday you'll do Chinese food. Tuesday you'll do Italian food, or you can say pasta to be more specific. Wednesday you would do, say you've got a sports event, so you do a quick frozen meal or takeout that you can eat on the go. Thursday, perhaps you can use a meat theme. So you're going to do lamb, either lamb chops or lamb on the grill or leg of lamb in the crock pot. Or you could choose Thursday as a meat-free evening and do a vegetarian meal. Friday, maybe pizza, different kind of pizza every time, or sometimes make pizza, sometimes order pizza, sometimes get pizza from a frozen pizza place. Saturday, perhaps you've got more time, so you can do fancy French food. And then Sunday, perhaps you'll do something light like sandwiches and you choose different types of breads or fillings each time. There's nothing wrong with doing the same type of sandwiches each week, but it's nice to have the variety. So once you've set up your weekly themes, then we're going to add ideas to each theme for the master list, because the decision making is what takes the most time and energy. So first, let me mention a few more ideas for themes. So I can't remember if I've mentioned Mexican, British food, and you can add in whatever cuisine you like. If you're from Brazil, Brazilian food is obviously going to be a big part of your menu. You can do Caribbean style, Spanish food, Middle Eastern, which is things like hummus and wraps, or hummus, as they say, Thai food, Japanese food, Indian food. Then some other style themes are things like one pot meals. If you have a nice big dish with a lid and you can do a one pot meal on the stove top, that's always convenient. You can do oven trays where you bake everything on the tray. Slow cooker evening. So for that day, you would do something in the slow cooker, whether it's a roast chicken or chicken pieces or a piece of lamb or a stew of some kind. You can have a category like quick meals. So this week, we'll choose a quick meal like breakfast for dinner or mince and pasta, anything really fast. And again, you would have some ideas on your master list. You can do a soup and bread evening. Choose a fancy kind of soup, either bought or homemade, and some nice bread. You can do a grilling evening, and each week you choose a different food to grill. You can do a charcuterie board one night a week, and you can really vary those as well. It gets interesting. So brainstorm ideas with your family of what themes you'd like to use, which are your most popular, and then use them for a few months and then switch it up to new ones. But the most important step would then be to list ideas under each category so that when you get to your planning at the beginning of each week, then you have ideas that you can choose from. So let's get into some of those. Again, I'll have a printable for you that you can download, which will just be a blank template for the week where you can fill in your themes, and then a master list where you can list ideas for each theme. So, French style meals, we want to keep them simple. We want to keep them not too much work, things that are possible for cooks at home to do. So, chicken Dijon with a cream sauce, that's a chicken in a pan that you pan sear with mustard and cream, and then you serve it with rice or mashed potatoes. Ratatouille pasta, this is a vegetarian one with zucchini and other veg with tomato, and then you add pasta and cheese. A lovely comfort food that's easy is a croque monsieur or croque madame. So these are French style grilled sandwiches, ham and cheese, and they have bechamel on top. I think the madame has a fried egg on top. Nice and easy. The beef bourguignon stew in a slow cooker or in the instant pot. You just add carrots and mushrooms. This is a lovely stew that you can leave to cook all day and get nice and tender and then enjoy. And then a quiche, like a quiche Lorraine with bacon, cheese, eggs in a pastry crust. You can leave out the crust and just have the actual filling. It's actually nicer than you would expect. I would do one with perhaps baked butternut and broccoli, which I would steam in advance. Then add a bit of salt and herbs to that, and then I would blend up my filling. Perhaps cook the bacon and add that if I'm using bacon, and then blend up eggs, a bit of milk, some feta cheese, some cheddar cheese, some salt, some oregano, perhaps onion powder, a bit of paprika. Blend that all up together and pour it over. And it bakes for about an hour. And that works well with salad. So, any ideas you have for French meals that you enjoy? French onion soup, anything that you think you're happy to cook and is not too complicated, then put that on your master list. Then Italian. Some easy ones would be spaghetti bolognese or tagliatelle bolognese, chicken parmesan, which is a crispy chicken topped with marinara sauce and mozzarella cheese. You could do a pesto pasta with some vegetables and a pesto cream sauce, or vegetables and a cheesy sauce. You could do a lasagna, a minestrone soup, which is a thick vegetables and bean soup with bread. So just choose what works for you for your categories. Do you like to say, I want a vegetarian meal, I want a chicken meal, I want a lamb meal, etc.? Or do you like to say, more interesting, I want a Mexican, I want a French, I want a Greek? And then you can make it a little fun by adding perhaps a country flag or something in your decor or music from that country to make it lend itself a little bit to that fun theme. Get your youngest kids involved in doing that. Mexican, you can do tacos with beef or chicken, and everyone kind of builds their own. You could do quesadillas with chicken, cheesy and crispy. An enchilada bake, like chicken enchiladas or beef enchiladas. You wrap the meat in the uh, tortillas. So it'll be similar to a lasagna with the sauce and the meat, but then wrapped in the tortillas. Mexican rice bowls. You can use rice, beans, corn, avocado, and chicken. A chili con carne is a one-pot meal. It also goes great with nachos or with cornbread. Greek. You can do a chicken souvlaki with some tzatziki. So that would be either skewers or pan-cooked pieces with pita bread and the tzatziki. A Greek salad with grilled chicken on top. The spanakopita-inspired spinach pie. A shortcut is to make that with puff pastry that you buy ready-made. A lemon garlic roasted chicken and potatoes, which is like a Greek tray bake. Euro-style wraps. You can use rotisserie chicken as a shortcut. Some tzatziki and then things like cucumber, tomato, etc. in your flatbread. Any Greek food that you enjoy. My son does a great Greek marinated chicken where he marinates the chicken in olive oil and herbs and then grills it. British comfort food vibes from this one. Shepherd's pie, which would be mince, lamb mince in this case, but you can do beef mince for a cottage pie and then topped with mashed potatoes. Fish and chips, fish fingers or baked fish in the oven. Bangers and mash, any sausages you like with a creamy mash and then an onion gravy is delicious. Chicken and leek pie, which is a creamy filling and then a puff pastry lid. And a ploughman's dinner board is a fun British meal. Cheese, ham, boiled eggs, bread, pickles, no cooking needed. Then Chinese comfort food, takeout style at home. Chicken stir fry with veggies. The great thing about these is if you're really stuck and you don't feel like cooking, you can just get takeout from a Chinese restaurant some of the time, and other times cook at home. So the chicken stir fry with vegetables, you'd add soy sauce, honey, garlic. This is nice and quick. We like to do a chicken and rice noodle stir fry. Fried rice is great for leftovers. You can do a similar thing to your chicken noodle stir fry, just make it fried rice to go along with the chicken. Sweet and sour meatballs, beef and broccoli with soy sauce, dumpling soup. Any ideas that you have around Chinese food, you can add them to your master list. Thai food at home, Thai green curry chicken or pad Thai noodles, or rice noodles with egg and chicken or prawns. You can do a beef stir fry, which is mince or beef strips with garlic and soy and rice. You can do a Thai soup, like a coconut chicken soup, using broth and or coconut cream. And then something like Thai peanut chicken wraps or bowls, using a peanut sauce with shredded chicken and crunchy veg. A Middle Eastern theme, chicken shawarma wraps, which would be a spice rub chicken with pita and salad and maybe the tzatziki style sauce. Kofta meatballs with rice and cumin served with rice or couscous. Falafel pita pockets. So it's a shortcut version. You just use your store-bought falafels, you add your hummus and your veggies to the pita breads. A tray bake with roasted veg and halloumi, or a lentil soup with bread. Then some ideas if you have a one-pot wonder theme, one-pot meals. You can do a one-pot creamy chicken and rice. You cook your chicken, you add your stock, and then you add your rice and your peas, and it's all cooked together. A one-pot spaghetti bolognese. The pasta cooks right in the sauce. You don't need to drain it. a sausage and vegetable stew where you toss your sausages and your potatoes and carrots in some stock and then you simmer it. You could even do a one-pot mac and cheese. This works great in the crock pot. Just put it all in there and stir it a couple of times, and then you're good at dinner time. And lastly, some 15-minute meal ideas, quick meal ideas. Quesadillas and salad with cheese and chicken or beans that are left over and crisped up in the pan. A stir fry using chicken with teriyaki sauce or a soy honey sauce. A pesto pasta like basil pesto with parmesan and cherry tomatoes is done in minutes. And egg fried rice, and then you can add a bit of protein if you have some available. You can use your egg and your vegetables and your soy sauce in the rice, and then add to your meat if you have any leftovers. 15-minute meals are generally good if you have some leftover meat to use. You could also do wraps with rotisserie chicken if you have wraps, or can get some. I keep some in the freezer, and then you grab a rotisserie chicken and you add either tzatziki with cucumber and feta, or some tomato and cucumber and other cheese, anything that you like and enjoy in a wrap. So there's so many ideas. It's just the beginning. So choose the themes firstly that inspire you and excite you. This is the kind of food I enjoy cooking. This is the kind of food I want to cook. And then remember to put in your slower evenings where it's easy food or pre-frozen or takeout food or from your own freezer. And then put in some evenings where you can be creative and do some good cooking to enjoy. And sometimes you can do it as a slow meal with courses, and sometimes it can be a simple croque monsieur where everybody has things on and doesn't have long to sit at the table. Remember, you can download your printable, your blank sheets to fill in if you want to plan like this, and that'll be at familyfoodformoms.com/meals. familyfoodformoms.com/meals. Thanks for listening. Have a great cooking week. I'll see you next time.